again. It's not too long ago that I was here sitting on stage, but I'm delighted to come back again in here and share with colleagues here on stage some of the issues relating to the session and to the topic, the chat. We got 20 minutes on the clock, and we hope that we can make the full use of the time, but also to tap into our colleagues in here on stage, your colleagues in industry, and we try to get their insights. I want to welcome all to this focus panel, and it's Actionable Insights for Developing Strong Emergency Preparedness and Enhancing Fire Safety Protocols. In today's, a little bit of maybe a preload for this is in today's high-stakes industrial environment, especially across complex energy and processes sectors like ours in here, emergency preparedness and fire safety are not just regulatory obligations, they are strategic imperatives from the rise of digital fire detection systems to integrated risk management strategies. Fire safety today is defined by foresight, speed, and systems thinking. So I'm pleased to be joined with two senior leaders who bring firsthand knowledge from the front lines of industrial fire safety. Ahmed Al-Subiei, Acting Deputy Chief of Fire Department at SASREF, and Saad Alkhaldi, Fire Chief at Advanced Petrochemical Company. So we want to get like the order of 15 some minutes, if you don't mind. And along those lines, probably we can talk a little bit about risk assessment and tailored preparedness. You know, in many different ways. I mean, sometimes one incident is one too many, right? I mean, we don't want to get into that situation. So to start off, let's talk about maybe fundamentals. And along those lines, I'm going to pose the question, how does your organization approach risk assessments, and how do you tailor emergency preparedness plans to the specific risks of your operations, and how frequently are these plans are updated and kept current? That being said, you want to take a shot at it, Mr. Subiei?
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Jamal. It's a pleasure to be here. Our organization, in terms of risk assessment, approach the risk assessment through an organized procedure, where this procedure is overseen by an emergency response committee. The procedures involve, of course, identifying the risk, creating a risk register, evaluating these risks, and ranking these risks based on impact and significance. Of course, the assessment will involve and will be carried out through quantitative and collective methods, which will involve also the input of all stakeholders. Once that is done, we start with developing emergency response plans which are tailored for these specific risks, where we develop communication and response protocols, develop training programs for our emergency response teams, and also allocate the required resources in order to address these risks. As for updating our emergency response plans, as a minimum, it's being addressed at each review cycle for these plans. Also, we review it and update it whenever a significant change happens in the industry or whenever a new risk is identified. Additionally, Dean Jamal, we take the chance to test and evaluate these emergency response plans through our emergency response annual plan, where we conduct these drills, implement these emergency response plans, and we critique it. And we come back to these plans, review it, update it, adjust it accordingly. So that's my take.
Thank you. I'm sure you know there are probably policies, procedures, and things you invoke, and the last thing I'm going to do is just to look for those when something bad happens along those times. And I'm sure inspection, quality control, people have dashboards and KPIs and all kinds of stuff, basically. So we heard from SASREF. We want to hear from Advanced
Yes.
Petrochemical Company.
Yes, thank you, Jamal. First of all, I want to thank the organizers for this conference. I would like to thank the attendance. I hope all will have the benefits to sharing the information in this conference. Before I start, Mr. Jamal, allow me to thank. We are in May. At the beginning of this month, there is a day for the firefighters, 4th of May. From this stage, we can thank them about their work to make people, properties safe. Regarding the risk assessment and your question, Mr. Jamal, our organization conducting a risk assessment annually by collecting and analyzing data. Based on this data and the information we conducted in the risk assessment, we build our risk assessment and our procedures and our way to the emergency response preparedness. Thank you, Mr. Jamal.
Thank you. By the way, I think we should make reference to the previous speaker, Mr. Robert, and to his presentation, which was really great in terms of getting insights into how things are done and the different maybe cases, scenarios that's been done and that's been probably could have been prevented, but for some practices of sort or some maybe ignoring some vital signs in a way, things can go really bad and loss of life and loss of property and assets and revenues basically that goes into it. So I want to thank the previous speaker for that, and I think this is really good kind of like intro to what we're talking about here. So along those lines, also want to talk a little bit about technology and innovation and safety. Let's just explore a bit about the technology in reshaping this domain and this space in terms of practice. The question is, what role are emerging technologies such as, again, we're bringing AI, IoT, and digital twins playing in transforming real-time monitoring, fire detection in particular, for example, and predictive maintenance in your operations. We're going to start with reverse order. We go from advanced petrochemical and come back to SASREF.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jamal. Emerging the technologies such as the AI and the IoT in our field, in the petrochemicals, it's important for us. And we will go for this stage. We didn't start until now, but we will go. But before we start, there is a lot of security issues and boundary. We cannot enter the AI. I think our colleagues before this sessions, they are talking about the security systems and the sensitive information we are using when we use the AI. But from my angle, it will be enhance our work. It will make our preparedness faster, our emergency response faster, our using the informations faster. We can build our scenarios, drills, training by using these new technology. I hope we will use it, and we will use it, inshallah, very well.
Okay. And SASREF, Mr. Subiei.
In short, Dean Jamal, the role will be crucial.
Uh-huh.
Be it in enhancement, be it in system performance, be it in reliability, integrity of these systems. Also, these tools, these systems, provide a variety of applications and options. Things like digital checklist and inspection reports, records of documentation, the ability for identifying and tracking observations, many other features that are designed to enhance and improve our fire protection systems and emergency response abilities.
So, I mean, investments usually in terms of updates, upgrades, retiring certain assets, basically, because they deem to be like, they could cause some issues and troubles and EHS in particular, basically. And I'm sure adaptation, again, it's very hard when you have something. I mean, the saying goes, if it ain't broken, why fix it, right? And but this is the wrong mentality because oftentimes, like I would say, inspection, like to the naked eye, things look really good, but in reality, there's a function, and it could be like at the cusp of kind of like a disaster. Today, it's functioning very well, and the next day, because you ignored something simple. And I might, by the way, if I want to maybe get your input into it, there's top management, and there's the practitioners. There's the people, your ears and eyes, so to speak, on the site. How does it work? Is it bottom up that these things can come to you? Anybody can maybe, sometimes we label difficult people in terms when they see some issue and they come forward and say, and then the maybe middle management, upper management, they'll say, oh, no, let's, it's okay, let's keep going. But it has to be like the corporate policy from the top, but also from the bottom to feed both ways so that people can buy into these kind of technologies and like the AIs and the latest. You want to maybe give it this?
I agree, Dean Jamal. Also, there is the influence of good leadership, identifying these issues and empowering their employees to speak up.
Can you hear him, by the way, or just maybe you want to bring
to
the
share
mic?
to share their concerns. Okay, they call it in the leadership. What do you call it? They call it the influence without authority. So yes, I agree with your remarks, D. Jamal.
Maybe add to it if you want to tell us about professional development and people that they go into training and certification. Not everything we learn in school or in technologies, they stay the same. So your workforce has to be updated and upgraded with these metrics, if you don't mind.
We face, actually we face challenges, but we rely on our regular meetings, our workshops in our organizations to improve the work. And also before that, regarding the training and the standards, we are following a high standards like NFPA and the HCIS and the best practice in the companies. We build our training, we build our this information to enhance our training. With the training, we can discover what is the gaps we have. When we discover what is the gaps we have, we can rely on the technology by creating and innovations to give the peoples and the responders a good training and fill this gap.
Like the saying goes, proof is in maybe in the telling to make the case. Can you share maybe an example, maybe a small little example, you introduced some of these tools and it made a difference, like in terms of either preventing or maybe mitigating an incident that was like, because of what you've done, as a success story that you can, becomes like a bragging point or a point of pride, like I want to know if you have something that you can probably share with us as a story. Either one of you, whoever wants to take a shot at it.
Dear Jamal, one of the tools or one of the advanced technologies that we are proud to have in our organization in SASREF is SORA. SORA is a digital tool that we use in performing our ITM activities in fire protection systems. And one of the success stories that we had with this system is related to our water deluge system, where historically we had problems with that system in terms of blockage in the piping and the nozzles of that critical fire protection system. However, after implementing this tool, we have managed to collect sufficient data that help us go back, review, and adjust our testing and inspection procedures. I will not say it eliminated that issue. However, it had a significant impact on reducing the occurrence of such issues. So this is one of the...
Good.
Thank you, Ahmed. Actually, I didn't have success stories, but recently we success to in our project in advanced polyolefins companies by starting up. In our company, we use the highest standards of technologies and the latest in the market, starting from the protection, fire protection systems, fire protection systems, fire equipment, fire tools, even our fire truck. It was the latest in the market. We are using a lot of digitals in this truck. Also, our fire stations, it's designed in modern and new technology to communicate with all the complex and receiving all the alarms, and we can respond fast by using this technology. This is a success story, I think. Also, I want to thank our management and our executive management, because they make all these easy for us and real. That's what I have.
So in any organization, there's different entities you have to deal with. Like it could be like engineering, operations, and safety. And they're competing teams within for resources and also for making the case for something. So if I'm to think of this, it has to be like a collaborative work where people understand what other units, their job in making things work like beautifully, like, you know, no issues whatsoever. How do you see yourself like in corporate in dealing with the other departments, other units, in terms of getting that collaborative work for the common goal of being prepared and being like preventive of any like maybe fire or something along those lines? Do you find yourself like butting heads with those people, or to bring them on board and tell them, or, you know, they're competing for resources, who's important, who brings in the money, who shuts down some things in the name of maybe safety? Can you reflect a little bit about it, how that collaborative corporate harmony should exist to make it work?
Yes, you are right, Jamal. We face a lot of challenges regarding this subject, but we rely on regular meetings every week with the engineering, with the operations department, with the safety, and we can discuss and study all the cases which we are facing, and make solve all the difficulties or all the issues we're facing by cooperation between the departments. We have regular meetings, weekly, some of them daily, but we are in good shape in this situation.
Good.
Dear Jamal, we make sure that we present our case clearly and effectively. We bring to the table the required justification that supports our claim and convince other disciplines or other departments within our industry that our case must be at the forefront of our approach. And either directly or indirectly, the improvement of emergency response and fire protection will have a huge positive impact on what our other departments are doing. So, yes.
Okay, well, I mean, we're out of time, but I want to maybe, I mean, we're all engineers and practitioners in a way, even people like me in academics. And we have a code of professionalism and ethics. We watch over the monies we're entrusted to spend and spend wisely, but also with the lives and health and safety of all people, not within the organization of the company itself, but the public at large. Because sometimes the effects can be, yes, not just immediate, but also we can cause a disaster and will spill over to neighboring communities and living communities. And I think, you know, we as engineers, we always like, you know, these canons for any type of an engineer who's practicing, I think they witness it from within. And in terms of if you're building a building or doing something, you want to make sure that there's no cutting corners in a way in making it happen. Otherwise, there'll be some like disastrous consequences. Want to bring this one to a closure. I want to thank you, Ahmed and Saad, for sharing your experience. And I think we've learned a lot between the, I think sessions are sort of like interconnected from the first session to the keynote speaker from industry. And that being said, I want to thank you again for your time and for sharing your stories with us. Thank you.